Libby Riley, Reilly. Life growing up, I was the daughter of a pastor in a Southern Baptist church, and missionary work and ministry in the church was just a part of my life from my earliest memory. When I was in high school, I had a very strong faith on my own. I kind of pursue God in a very independent way, apart from my family. I am the product of a lot of abuse and brokenness. I do realize that there is grace there too, that I was given, the introduction to Jesus from an early age, despite all the ugliness surrounding that. I went to a public school, and that was very hard in high school, and just being a Christian and wanting to grow, but being surrounded by the world. So I pursued a Christian college very far from home. I think everybody has a life-changing experience around college, but for me, thank God, it was to truly turning towards Him in a big way. I got married in 2014. My husband grew up Catholic, and that was not a point of contention, but faith was an interesting part of our relationship as we were, growing together and being married and pursuing what our family would look like. Not for nothing, we didn't get here easy. And I think the power of God in, our journey of infertility and loss and, and then finally, praising God despite the storms, and then finding Bridgepoint in this community, and my husband being open to growing in his faith as well, and also pursuing His will for our life and becoming that spiritual leader and pointing our family, as now we have our 2 miracle children, for us to collectively as a family to be pursuing God is the biggest blessing ever. Last year, there was a moment in our marriage that was very hard, and I just kind of wondered, where do we go from here? From this very tumultuous spot that we're in. And I kind of felt like I was at a crossroads. That night, God told me 2 things. He said, serve your husband and give me the first of your day. So the next morning, coming off of, big emotions, I made him a cup of coffee. I kissed his cheek, and I've done that every day since then. That was God working through me and saying, if you are faithful in the small things, I will bless you in the big things. My prayer recently has just been, God, get my ego out of the way so that you can move, so that you can speak. But God used all of that. He used all of that heartache and that heartbreak and, the times where we wanted to butt heads and choose our egos. God was using all of that the whole time to get us here this year in 2023 with spiritual lives that are amazing, and to be able to hear God's voice now, and to be to have a quiet time and a prayer life and scripture study that is alive. I'm trying, despite my upbringing and despite what is more comfortable, to just say, it's messy, God, it's not perfect, it's not put together, but use me. God is still working miracles, and they might not look like a flood and a rainbow and feeding 10,000, but He is still performing miracles today. And if you can pursue Him above all else, that it will change your life.